The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3". They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So on fourth down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident. That play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Third down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
And that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you expect him to come after the quarterback. But in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get outside of you.
That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. And this defense is on the field right now and just looking to keep the momentum, the mojo going from a week ago.
Partner, this defense is full of confidence. They feel great about themselves, and they don't think anyone can move the ball on them now.
On second down. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Out of the gun now on third down. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And here now it's 2nd and goal. Ball in the, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. The touchdown giving him the first-quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
So that drive, 12 plays in length. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. second down following the run. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, first down. .46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. So out now come the Cardinals. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They run the counter now on first down. And some room to maneuver. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all, because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
And they give this time to the tailback. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a handoff looking right. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Over the middle, it's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Let's go, Barney.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
Let's go! Green, 39!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Cardinals got to go quickly. Hustling to the line. They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Here we go! Green, 39!
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. It's caught outright by Graham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. This is incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. The Cardinals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Let's look back now at this closely contested first half. So we've got a tie game at half, and you can bet both coaches are in that locker room making adjustments and telling their guys to just keep playing hard like they did in the first half. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Seahawks on 2nd and 7. Foster is going to duck out to the left, and he'd cap off the 11-play drive with a TD. That takes the lead up to 7. Cardinals line up at the 8. They'll go with the run here, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. Cardinals tied up at 7. Now 1st and 10. Weber is by himself here, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 46-yard line. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Seattle for the start of the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Hard throw, incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. So many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at his 4. Dances by him. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Hang on now. Detroit!
And to give this time to the tailback. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They've just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going to throw right side here, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man on the out route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down. The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Yeah, the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they'll have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back to throw now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Going deep here for Bryant. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. They always say the real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up the second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Now let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They'll look to throw again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down. But you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there. Kick it. Put it through the post. Go up 2 scores.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 36 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe. Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick here is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. He can't get him down. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They'll drop to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Hot Blue 90.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Back to throw here. His pass caught at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And now the offense will look to respond after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. Fighting to stay upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get footy, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Cardinals on third down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Cardinals, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Seattle, so long, everybody.